Marketing with social media has become increasingly difficult and competitive. Knowing which tools have been tried, tested, and can be trusted is essential to marketing efficiently and effectively. In this course, we'll look at powerful features already built into social media apps, robust third party scheduling and automation tools, content creation and curation platforms, and solutions that provide deeper insight into our posts by showing us advanced analytics. I'm Anson Alexander. I've been publishing online for over a decade. I've built a following of over 200,000 YouTube subscribers, and I've reached tens of millions of viewers. I'm excited to share industry-leading tools that will help you increase visibility, build rapport, and grow your audience. With so many tools available nowadays to help enhance social media performance, it's important to know what to look for when deciding upon a solution. Of course, I'm going to show you which tools I find most useful in this course, but in this video, instead of just handing you some fish to fry, I'd like to teach you how to do some fishing yourself. Here are top 5 elements that you should look for when vetting social media tools. Everyone wants to try out all of the latest up-and-coming social media enhancement tools, but if success is your end goal, it's important to make sure that you're making the most out of the tools that many social platforms have built right in. For example, Meta Business Suite, which is Facebook's marketing tool, offers an array of detailed targeting tools that you should become comfortable with before branching out to alternatives. When you do decide to try some third-party tools, try to find the ones that can perform multiple tasks for you. This will help reduce the number of tools needed in your toolbox and increase your overall efficiency. A tool that, for example, can schedule posts to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram all at once should be considered more powerful than a tool that only posts to Twitter. At the end of the day, using social media for business purposes is all about your ROI, and I'm sure if you're just looking for some fun tools for your personal social media accounts, you aren't looking to break the bank either. So for that reason, cost efficiency is important. I think this goes hand in hand with finding multi-purpose tools because those types of solutions will oftentimes be more cost efficient as well. Obviously, if we're looking at third-party social media tools, we're looking for tools that can perform a task that can't be completed with the platform's built-in features. So finding tools that can provide a unique benefit to our social media strategy is a key consideration. Finally, we want to focus on tools that are reliable. If you've watched my course on digital marketing tools, you probably know that I like to focus on tools that will be around for the foreseeable future. This prevents us from spending our time learning a tool and uploading data to a tool only to have it discontinued a few months afterwards. It's important to focus on tried and true tools that you can rely on. So just to summarize, the key considerations that you should be taking a look at when vetting social media tools are making sure that you're using built-in tools and features, making sure that you're looking for multi-purpose solutions, making sure that when you decide to go with a tool that it is cost-effective. Always be looking for tools that have unique capabilities, and of course, we want tools that can be reliable. So if you keep these considerations in mind when you're looking for social media tools, I have a hunch that you're going to find a few platforms that are really going to be valuable to you. One of the most powerful built-in tools for social media success is Meta Business Suite. This tool allows marketers to advertise on both Facebook and Instagram. One feature with the Business Suite that is especially powerful is the ability to build custom ad audiences. With custom audiences, you can target users from an already established email list, a CRM database, or users that already follow your page. This is a great way to do remarketing campaigns on Facebook. To find out the specifics of creating and using a custom list, you can take a look here in the Meta Business Help Center. Just search for custom audiences, and a whole bunch of articles will come up that will help you fine-tune your list for Facebook and Instagram. But let's go ahead and let's take a look at a quick example. So I've downloaded an example customer list from Facebook. This is what it looks like, and I have it saved to my desktop. So we can see that we have some identifying information in here, such as email addresses and phone numbers. This will help Facebook match the user on our list with that user's Facebook profile. So let's take a look at how we can upload this list as a custom audience to use during a Facebook advertising campaign. Okay, so I've moved over into Meta Business Suite at business.facebook.com. I'm sure that will change to Meta at some point, but right now it's still at facebook.com. And what we're going to do is on the left side of the screen here, we're going to click on the All Tools section. And then from here, we're going to scroll down to the advertise area. And from in here, we're going to click on audiences. Now you'll notice from here, we have this little drop down up here at the top left where we can click. It says create audience. And you'll notice that we can upload a custom audience. This is also where we could create a lookalike audience. So we could upload our custom audience like we're about to do, and then we could create a lookalike audience that takes that custom audience and tries to find similar users. That's just another great feature here in Meta Ads Manager. But we want to upload a custom audience. So we'll go ahead and we'll click on custom audience. And it asks us for some information about our audience. So first of all, what is our source? Notice that we have some different options, but ours is just a list. So we'll choose customer list. Notice that we could use one of Facebook's sources as well, but we want to upload our entire customer list. So we'll just hit next. So now we're brought to a screen where we can prepare our customer list. And I know this can seem a little bit overwhelming, but it's actually pretty easy if you just follow it straight through. So first of all, we need to include at least one main identifier from our customer list. Well, we have email addresses for everybody in our custom list. We have phone numbers as well. So we have that in there. We don't need to select anything here. This is just asking us to make sure that we have these identifiers because this is how Facebook's going to try and match it up that customer with a Facebook profile. Okay, so we can just go ahead and read through this and then hit next. Now, do we have a value for our customer? In other words, some customers might be more valuable than others, and we can use a whole bunch of analytics and metrics to try and assign a value to a customer. Our list doesn't have a value right now, so we'll just click on no. So now we can just go ahead and we can upload our file. So we'll click upload file. Notice I have it here on my desktop, so I'll just select it and click open. And then we can go ahead and we could give it a name. So we could just call this like custom audience 1. And then we'll go ahead and click next. You'll notice that it says that they've matched a bunch of columns from our list. So it just wants to make sure that, are these email addresses? Yes, they are. Are these phone numbers? Yes, they are. So it's just making sure that it's getting the right information based on how we've added it to the list. So mobile advertiser ID, that is correct. Obviously, this is all correct because this is an example from Facebook, but you can see if this was incorrect, you could click the drop down and you could select, hey, this isn't a zip code, this is a phone number. So that's just making sure that everything's correct. So you can scroll through that and click import and create. You'll notice that it says your upload's in progress, and now it has been hashed and uploaded. And from here, we could create a lookalike audience, as I mentioned, right away, based on this customer list that we just uploaded. We could create an ad right away as well. And I'm not going to go through all of the steps for that. You can take a look here on this website in the course library. There are definitely some courses geared specifically for using Meta Ad Manager, but this is just one little tip on how you can create a custom audience and do some remarketing campaigns. This is a great example of how you can use a built-in tool. We didn't have to pay extra to be able to create these custom audience lists. They're built right into Meta Ads Manager, so it's just taking advantage of a free tool that we're already going to be using as a social media marketer. When it comes to built-in social media tools, Twitter Analytics is about as good as it gets. Out of all of the social media platforms available, Twitter has, in my opinion, the most robust built-in analytics tools. To access Twitter Analytics, you do need to be on the desktop version of Twitter. Only analytics for individual tweets are available on mobile devices, but for the analytics for your entire profile, you need to be on desktop. So once you're on a desktop and you're logged into Twitter, go ahead and navigate to the left side of the screen and click on More. From here, click on the Creator Studio section and then click on Analytics. You'll notice right off the bat, it's just impressive when you come in here and you think about all of the other social platforms and what their analytics pages look like. Twitter has really good analytics. So you can see how many tweets you've done over the last 28 days, the impressions that those tweets have gained, how many profile visits you've received, how many people have mentioned you, and how many followers you've gained. You can also see for each month your top tweet, your top mention, your top follower. So for all of these things, you can find really valuable information. Your top tweet, what was it about that tweet? Maybe you should try and recreate that in the future. Who was your top follower? Maybe you should be interacting with that user more and commenting on their tweets to start gaining access to some of their followers. And so if you scroll down, you'll notice that this particular information is for June, but we can start to see it for each month and For me, it kind of depends on the month for how active I am on Twitter. I kind of use that more as a personal page where I post things that I find cool. I use Instagram for behind the scenes. And of course, my main platform is YouTube. So that's just a little glance into how I use my social accounts. But notice that up here at the top of Twitter Analytics, we've been looking at the homepage the whole time, but we could click on this tweets section, and now we can see individual analytics for each tweet. So we can see how many impressions that tweet has received, how many engagements, what the engagement rate is. Again, we can always look back and see our most successful tweets and our least successful tweets and try and tweak things in the future. Up at the top right, you can change the date range. So instead of looking at the last 28 days, you could choose a custom range, or you could select a particular month. So obviously, that's something that you may want to change. So Twitter Analytics is a really robust tool. If Twitter is your main platform, you don't need a third-party tool to review your Twitter Analytics because this feature is just so robust here in Twitter. Definitely make use of it. I think it's sometimes hidden because people can't find it in the mobile apps. So again, you do have to use Twitter on desktop to access Twitter Analytics, but you can gain a lot of insight into your content and into your tweets that have been most successful. The Facebook and Instagram Messenger tools are often overlooked as opportunities for social media engagement and tools for lead generation. If you have a large following on Facebook or Instagram, you may want to think about leveraging the Messenger apps a bit more. Some of the key reasons to use the Facebook and Instagram Messenger apps include increasing authenticity and engagement, addressing customer complaints and concerns, and providing quick customer support. Unfortunately, there are some limitations to the Facebook and Instagram Messenger apps. Facebook has made it difficult to simply message your page fans, so you need to get creative when using Messenger for both Facebook and Instagram. You can send messages to your fans by using Facebook ads, but you have to pay for it. Later on in this course, I'm going to show you how you can use some third-party tools to increase your engagement with Facebook messages and to create some auto chat bots. But before we do that, let's move on over to Facebook and take a look at how we can use Messenger as it is. When you access Meta Business Suite at business.facebook.com, on the left side of your screen, you can click on the inbox to access your Messenger section. Now from here, you'll see all of the messages that users have sent you. Once a user sends you a message, you can reply, but you can't just look at all of the fans on your page and start messaging them. So they have to send the message first. So it's important to come in here from time to time and take a look at both your Facebook messages that are sent through Messenger and your Instagram direct messages that are sent through Instagram. And then from in here, you can reply. So this is a great opportunity to provide some customer service to those users. So I could just go down here and I could reply to this message. Now, at the same time, Facebook allows you to set up automations, which allow you to automatically reply to messages. So if we click on this automations link up here at the top, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, there are a whole bunch of templates in here that you can use. So you can create an automation to identify messages that haven't been answered yet, messages that have particular keywords, and you can look through all of these. There is a scroll bar, so don't forget about that. But I'm going to create one from scratch because I want to create one that replies to everyone. So we're going to go up here to the top right, and we're just going to click Create Automation. And then from here, we can look at all of the templates again, but we're going to start from scratch. So now we can just give this automation a name. So we'll just call it like auto reply. And where do we want to use this automation? On Messenger and Instagram. We can hit both of those boxes. When does this happen? So when do we want our message sent? We want to send it when a new message is received. And we could add other conditions if we wanted, but I want this to be basic, blanket. Every message that comes in gets this auto reply. What are we going to do? We are going to send a message in reply. And then we can go ahead, and I actually have a message pasted or copied to my clipboard, so I'll paste it in here. This is just, generic. Thanks for reaching out. Don't forget to submit tutorial requests on AnsonAlex.com. So always good to include a link. Maybe you can get them to click through to your website to learn more about your services. And then I also put you can reach out to me at webmaster@AnsonAlex.com. That's great if you aren't using Facebook Messenger that much or Instagram Messenger and you want people to know where to get access to you better. You can put an email in there as well. So go ahead and you can customize that. You could add other sections as well if you wanted. Notice you can insert emojis and you could personalize it. What this would do is you could enter the person's name. You could say, hey, Anson, and if their name isn't Anson, if their name is Jane, you could say, hey, Jane. So, one of those just auto chatbot things. But I think we're good here. So this is what our message is going to look like. And then we can just click on Save Changes. If you have a large Facebook or Instagram following, it's definitely a good idea to make sure that you're responding to your messages because it's a great opportunity for you to address some of the concerns and questions that customers may have. Don't forget about how important word of mouth marketing is. If you are able to solve an issue that a customer is having through Facebook or Instagram Messenger, that can spread and it can increase the reputation of your brand or organization. Posting video content to Instagram is a great way to market with social media, and Instagram allows for two different posting options. You can either use Instagram Video, which allows videos of a max length of 60 minutes, and you can also organize those videos into series, so you can release multiple videos around the same topic and then put them all together, kind of like a YouTube playlist. And this is great for in-depth video content, maybe in-depth instruction on how to use your products. This is better for people who already follow you. They already trust you, so they're willing to watch longer video content. But that brings me over to the next option for posting video to Instagram, and that is via Instagram Reels. Reels are a little bit different. They have a max length of only 60 seconds. However, because of that, you're trying to really capture people right in the beginning of your reels, and they're great for reaching new followers. So you can capture them with your reels, and then you can keep them watching with your videos. Now, both videos and reels will show up in the Instagram feed, and they'll show up on your Instagram profile. You can remove reels if you'd like so that they're not right on your profile, but there isn't a huge difference in terms of where they show up. Let's move on over to the Instagram website because it has a lot of really helpful material there, and it gives some examples of using videos and reels on Instagram. Okay, so here I am on business.instagram.com, and as I mentioned, there's a lot of great information here, not just regarding Instagram video, but just marketing with Instagram in general. In fact, of all the social networks, I think this one provides the most help in terms of getting creators to reach their goals. So when you're on business.instagram.com, if you go up here to the products dropdown, you'll notice that there's an option for video solutions. And this will kind of cover both video and reels. So, it kind of tells you how you're going to benefit. You're going to build stronger connections and kind of gives you some information like that. You can read through some of these more on your own. However, if we scroll down, we start to see some examples. And I want to show this example here real quick because this is actually a video ad within stories. So that is another option as well. You can post your ads in stories, you can link the products you're using, and then you can hopefully make some money from that. Here we have an example of reels, again, shorter content. Notice even Instagram tells you you can attract new audiences and join in on trends. It's quicker to produce, right? You don't have to put as much time, effort, and money as producing the long form video. However, we do have an example of video down here, and I love that they're using Chobani. If you have watched my courses in the past, you'll know that when I do my Instagram courses, I always use Chobani because they are just a great brand on Instagram. Everything, their color scheme, the type of content they're posting, their ability to actually provide value to their users. So definitely check out the Chobani Instagram profile. It's a great example of how to use Instagram as a business for marketing. So these are just some more examples. Down here, you can see some video examples as well. Again, this website has just a ton of information for creators. So down here at the bottom, they have, best practices for stories and making standout video content for ads. You can scroll down even further. And if we go back up here to products, and you'll notice that they have all of these other areas as well. So we have specifically stories and reels. So we could click on reels. And you'll notice that there's a page dedicated to reels. You can create a reel, right from here, but it also gives you just a lot of information on how to make the best reels possible. So definitely come here and check out the Instagram website when you're creating video content for Instagram. But when it comes to built-in social media marketing tools, it doesn't get much better than how you can post video and reels to Instagram and just how many people those videos and reels can reach. So definitely make use of that feature. In this chapter of the course, we're going to talk about fully fledged multi-purpose social media management suites, so third-party tools that you can use to manage multiple social networks at once. The first one that I want to talk about is Zoho. Zoho is actually a newcomer to my list here in this course, but it's not a new product. It's been around since the early 2000s, but it has finally cemented itself as one of the top players in the game, so let's take a look. If we go up here to the products dropdown, you'll notice that they have a number of different solutions that come part of the package. Really, all of these applications that we're going to look at have evolved from simply managing your social media to doing all sorts of different types of marketing online, to doing sales and lead generation and just really full-fledged marketing suites. So we can go over here to the marketing section. You'll notice all of the different marketing features it offers. Obviously, we have social, the all-in-one social media management software, but we can do email campaigns right here from within Zoho. We can run surveys. We can build websites, all sorts of different things. We can do automation. But if we were to just click on, say, social, you'll notice that it kind of gives us some information and we could sign up to get started. There is a free trial. And if you scroll down, it kind of gives you some more information about what type of social media marketing solutions they have. And I will tell you that this is very similar to Hootsuite and Sprout Social, these other apps that we're going to look at. One of the best ways to find out what is actually offered is to go to pricing, because all of these other links, and we'll see them in the other tools as well, they're obviously trying to sell us. And so it can be a little kind of salesy and you're not really sure what you're looking at in terms of value. However, on the pricing page, we can always see exactly what is offered. So here for Zoho, one of the things that I really like about it is this package right here, $10 a month. Wait until you see the price of Hootsuite later on in the course. This is where a lot of these applications, the pricing tier that they started. With this $10 a month, we can have 9 channels. So you can have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, all for $10 a month. So instead of going to facebook.com and managing it, you can do it here on Zoho, Twitter on Zoho, all of that sort of thing. If we look at the kind of the advanced tiers, we'll scroll down a little bit here. You'll notice that this list at the bottom is where we have some different features. So I recommend for really all of these tools, but especially here for Zoho, trying the $10 a month version. And then you'll kind of start to get an idea of what you may need additionally as you use the tool. And you can look in here and see if those features that you're looking for are here. Obviously, you're going to get a lot deeper analytics, a lot more automation, and that sort of thing. But Zoho, it has been a great product for a long time. It's shown that it's still willing to innovate and continue to grow. Its pricing tier is really amazing nowadays. So I really think this is a great option for businesses that are really looking for that first social media management platform, haven't tried anything else yet. Go ahead and give Zoho a shot. There's a free trial. You'll notice 15-day free trial, as well as there are free trials with the other tools as well. So with all of these tools, definitely try them out before you make any financial commitments first. When talking about social media management tools, the list would not be complete without Sprout Social. It's been around for a really long time, started as just a social media management tool, and now it has all of the CRM features that Zoho has and some of the other tools like Hootsuite have. But where Sprout Social really shines is in its analytics. So let's take a look. We'll go up here to the solutions dropdown. And from here, you'll notice that they have different ways to view their product by use case, business type. We can go ahead and we can choose use case. We'll just choose social management since that's the main reason we're here. And when we scroll down a little bit, there's a lot of information here on what their product has. And again, it's very similar. You can schedule posts. You can post to all of your social networks from one place. You can respond to messages. You can upload your creatives and have them set and ready to go. All of that sort of thing. Those are pretty much standard nowadays. To be on this list, you have to have those features. However, if we scroll down a little bit here, you'll notice that there's this section that says measurement. And there's some things in here that I want to show you because this is what makes Sprout Social unique. Some of the other platforms have similar features, but not quite the same. So Sprout Social has cross-channel reporting. And in this image right here, you can see where it says cross-channel reports. And as we scroll down this page a little bit, we'll start to see an example of what some of those look like. It essentially allows you to compare your social networks. So you can see here in this one, it's a chart and it's showing the impressions per day based on which network. So we can see we've got Twitter is the green, then Facebook in blue, Instagram in the red, pink, LinkedIn in yellow, and then Pinterest in the light blue kind of over there at this side over here. And so we can see for this example, obviously they're getting the most impressions from Twitter. Now this is just the impressions per day report though. You could look at, followers per day and that sort of thing. And it might be different for your different networks. So you might be doing something really good on Facebook in terms of getting followers, but then they're not really interacting with your content afterwards. And maybe Twitter's the opposite. Maybe you're reaching a whole bunch of people that don't even follow you. They're interacting with your posts, but you're not getting the followers. So Sprout Social allows you to dig in and do these cross-platform reports, which allows you to identify these areas and where you can improve upon one network and maybe use something you learned from another network. If we scroll down, there's another example here as well. This is just an Instagram chart right here. You can see how you can see your story replies and all sorts of information on your stories. But if we scroll down a little bit further, it tells us the different networks that we can add to Sprout Social. So this is obviously important. Now, most of these tools that I'm showing you are definitely going to have all of the primary networks: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, TikTok, YouTube. Those are standard. And so you can see Sprout Social kind of just covers those basics. We scroll down a little bit here. Here's another one of the cross-platform reports that I was talking about. This is not on impressions. This is actually on audience growth. So you can see up here. So this is number of new followers. So if this was the same account, you say, well, wait, we were getting tons of impressions on Twitter, but our growth is greater on Instagram. So what can we do on Twitter that we're doing on Instagram? And maybe what can we do on Instagram that we're doing on Twitter to kind of unify those social accounts and make them both as effective and reach as many people as possible? So this is the main benefit of Sprout Social, okay, is these analytics. The other features are great too, but this is what makes it unique. So of course, let's go and look at the pricing. It's not quite the same as Zoho, as you can see. The standard plan for Sprout Social is $250 a month, and each additional user is another $200 a month. So this is not for your ma and pa store. Trust me, if you're just a very small business looking to get in the game, you're definitely better off probably with Zoho and then another tool that I'm going to cover called Buffer. If you're a large organization looking for all the bells and whistles, being able to collaborate with users that might be geographically located in different places, then now we're going to start talking about Sprout Social and Hootsuite. You obviously might have the finances to support it, and you have a bigger team that kind of needs all of the features. So you can see, like we saw with Zoho, we can see what all of these plans include. So the first one includes 5 social profiles. That's a little light for $250 a month, right? We saw Zoho, you can have 9 and it's $10 a month. So these details are important, and it's why I recommend that you try all the free trials, because you might say, oh, Sprout Social looks awesome, $250 a month, that's a lot, but I can swing it. And then you get in and you say, wait, I have 10 social networks. I can't even have to pay more than that. So definitely use the free trials. But Sprout Social is a super powerful tool. So if money's not really an issue and you're just looking for the best social media management tool you can possibly find, it's going to be hard to beat Sprout Social. Another great option when it comes to social media management tools is using Buffer. So Buffer offers a lot of the same features that we've talked about with the other tools. You can manage all of your social networks in one place. You can schedule posts. You can review more detailed analytics, all of that sort of thing. But there are a couple things about Buffer that make it unique and set it apart. So first of all, I'm not sure if you're going to notice this or not, but if you just look around the website, you'll notice something that's a little different from some of the other websites, especially if you're looking at the images of the application itself, and that's its minimalistic user interface. So it's much more user-friendly to get in and just start using Buffer, especially when we talk about, like, say, Hootsuite, which we'll talk about in the next video. That one can be very intimidating, whereas Buffer is the complete opposite. Now, this goes along with something else. So yes, it's minimalistic user interface, but if we look at kind of these drop downs and we start looking around the website here, you'll notice that, hey, this isn't a full-fledged CRM. This is just a social media management tool, which for some of you, that might be a problem. You say, why would I use just a social media management tool when I can get something that has a lot more features? And maybe that's true. Maybe you wouldn't. But for a lot of larger businesses, or just a lot of businesses in general, they already have CRM systems. They already have these systems that they use to funnel their sales, and they don't need all of that. All they want is social media management. Well, that's all you get with Buffer. And in some ways, that is refreshing. Now, let's move over to the pricing, because this is where my other surprise is. If we look at the pricing for Buffer, look at that. They have a free plan. It's the only tool in this chapter that has a free plan. A lot of them used to, but they just, supply and demand, right? People really like these tools. They use them a lot, so they can raise the price. Now, Buffer is really trying to kind of become one with Sprout Social and Zoho and Hootsuite. So they've set their pricing a little bit lower. Now, notice that with the free plan, you can have up to 3 channels. So that could be a problem for some people. Obviously, you can't be on every network using that free plan, but you could easily do something like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. You could pick 3 networks that will be powerful. You don't have to be on every network all at once. Now, let's talk about these other plans in a second here, because the way that they're presented is a little deceiving. But let's first scroll down and look at all of the features, because as I've been mentioning, this is really the important part. So you'll notice that with the free plan, we have up to 3 channels. Now, the essential plan, we see this, wonderful $6 a month, the next upgrade. Okay, don't get too excited. It's $6 a month per channel. So if you have 5 channels, you're looking at $30 a month, which is still very affordable, but just don't get fooled by that. Same with this team plan. Notice that it's twice as expensive, $12 a month per channel. So with 5 channels, we'd be looking at like $60 a month. And then you can kind of scroll down. One of the big things that sets these plans apart is the number of users you can have. So if you're a company that's going to be having multiple people manage your social media, then, well, you kind of have to maybe go up to this team plan. But if you're just a small business with one person managing it, that shouldn't be a problem. Scrolling down, Buffer offers a lot of channels. So if you remember when we looked at Sprout Social, I think there are only 5 channels available. You'll notice that Buffer definitely goes beyond that because this is their specialty. This is what they do, is social media. And you'll notice that with the free plan, you get a lot of these features. Once we get down to the bottom here, you start to see some areas where it's limited. So all of these custom link shorteners, video thumbnails, hashtag manager, those things you'll need one of the upgraded plans. Same with the analytics. So notice that in the free plan, you almost get nothing. In fact, you pretty much do get nothing in terms of analytics. So if that's something that's important to you, then you're probably going to want to upgrade. But what you could do is you could just start with like 2 networks for $12 a month, and you have access to all of these features, and you can see if you like them. There's obviously, you can see they have the free trial as well. So use that if you'd like. But again, Buffer is just, for those of you who are just looking for a social media option, something that you can get into today, set up your networks and just start using without taking, like a week to kind of learn where everything is, then Buffer is perfect and it offers really competitive pricing. So I absolutely recommend that you check it out. When it comes to social media management, the king that started it all is still a very viable option. Yes, I'm talking about Hootsuite. So here we are on the Hootsuite website. If you've been involved with social media management at all, you've probably heard of Hootsuite. It's the first one that came about, and it is still super powerful. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at some of the features of Hootsuite, and then we'll take a look at the pricing. So, this tool has all of the same features we've been talking about. You can publish and schedule your posts. You can schedule them for the future. You can manage all of your networks in one place. You can integrate your networks. You can view cross-platform reporting, has a lot of analytics. It's just grown over the years. Like I said, it's the first one. I mean, Hootsuite, I remember when it came out, and it just was amazing that you could use this platform and post all your networks at once. Now, let's go ahead and let's just jump right over to the pricing, because I think a lot of you have heard of Hootsuite and you kind of know what it does. But this is, like I said, this is what's important. So, okay, we've got a professional account, the cheapest one, $100 a month. So obviously it's not, the cheapest of the options that we have, but it's also not as expensive as, say, Sprout Social. We've got $99 a month, which I think is fair price for Hootsuite. It's been around for a long time. It's been growing for a long time, and they've been adding features, forever. So the professional account only comes with 1 user, but 10 social accounts. That's really good. So right there, you probably have everything you need: unlimited posts, post scheduling, access to all your messages. Now you'll notice that these higher tiered plans give you access to a lot of accounts: 20 accounts, 35 accounts, 50 accounts. There aren't even 50 networks, right? Why would you need that? Well, because one of the main uses of Hootsuite is for people whose main job, organizations who their service is managing other people's social networks. So you might have 50 social accounts. 10 of them might be Facebook, or all of them might be Facebook. Maybe you only manage Facebook accounts. So that's why you see these different tiers. And if you have a business that isn't managing other people's social media, you probably don't really need to think about these two, the business and the enterprise options. You're going to be looking more at the professional or maybe the team, because there you get 3 users. You do get 20 accounts. I don't know if you'll need 20 accounts if you just have one business, but it's an option. So, those are kind of the pricing tiers. And then as we scroll down, of course, we have all of the feature lists, which you can kind of take a look at, but you'll notice that things like social content calendar sharing isn't available in professional. So if you're just a, mom and pop shop, you probably don't need to share that. So you're probably okay with professional. But if you're an organization that has multiple team members working on your social media, you're probably going to want to go with the team one because it has a lot more of those collaboration options. Link tracking. So this is really helpful for measuring, who's clicking on your links and what they're doing after they click. So some of these features you're going to want to upgrade, but it does come with a lot of the features for the professional account. It's just whether or not you have the budget and can find the value in it to spend the $100 a month. There's nothing wrong with Hootsuite. The main disadvantage of Hootsuite is really just that its user interface is a little clunky and there's a lot of information in one place. So you can see right now I'm looking at some of my Twitter streams here. So this is a certain hashtag. These are people that have mentioned us, and these are our tweets. And, we can navigate to different sections over here. But just as you're using Hootsuite, when you compare it to something like, say, Buffer, Buffer is just a little bit more user-friendly. Hootsuite has a lot of options, and it can be a little bit intimidating when you first get in. So if you've decided upon Hootsuite, you can take your time, only use the features that you need. You don't have to use everything all at once, but it is a super powerful tool. It wouldn't be accurate to say that Hootsuite isn't the best social media management tool. Probably goes for any tool in this list. Zoho, Sprout Social are right up there as well. And then, of course, Buffer is getting there, definitely has some of its own advantages. So if you're looking for the best of the best, give Hootsuite a try. It's been the best for a long time, and it's still right up there in the top 4 or 5. If you're looking to boost your growth on Instagram, Kicksta may be exactly the tool that you're looking for. Kicksta helps you find similar accounts to yours and then attract their followers to also follow your account. So here we are on the Kicksta website, and it kind of tells you just that. So it helps you get more followers. And I'll tell you how this works. This is better than buying followers. Well, yeah, you're kind of buying followers though, because there isn't a free version anymore, but it's not directly buying followers. So the way this works is it will automatically start interacting with Instagram accounts that are similar to yours in hopes that their followers will see it and then start taking a look at your Instagram account. So you can see we have the pricing down here, and unfortunately, this used to be a free tool. It's now $69 a month, which is pretty expensive, but it's the best tool to use when you're first starting a new Instagram account and you want to kickstart it. Hey, there's the name, Kickstart, right? You want to kickstart that Instagram account and get new real followers right away. And these are real followers. This isn't like adding bot accounts to follow you. No, this is real, but it's just how valuable are they, right? So $69 a month, you can see what they offer. All of these things are pretty much what their system does. Account targeting, hashtag targeting, location targeting. That's what they do. You'll notice that in the upgraded plans, you can have some options like you can do automatic direct messages. You can automatically like stories instead of just their regular feed posts. So there's a few, added benefits, but I think, if you're thinking about starting with this tool, I would start with the $69 a month. And of course, you can always cancel. Now, just to give you an example, this is kind of what the user interface looks like. There's not really too much to it. It's kind of plug and play. The only thing that you're going to do is when you create an account, you can use some of their suggested targets. So the targets will be Instagram accounts that you're trying to interact with to then get their followers, right? But you don't have to do the interacting. Kicksta does it, but they'll have some suggested targets down here when you first start. Now, at the same time, you could also go in and you could add specific Instagram accounts, or you could add specific hashtags or even specific locations to try and pick targets that are going to be related to your product and your service. And then you kind of just let Kicksta do the work for you. So it will go to one of these profiles and it will like their photos and it will hope that they will then interact back with you. So they might follow you or they might like your photos. And then that gives you the opportunity to maybe mention them in some comments and start kind of commenting on their photos, actually you commenting, not Kicksta, to start interacting with them and maybe attract some of their followers to your account. So again, it is a great way to kickstart an Instagram account, probably not necessary for mature accounts that already have a good deal of followers. But if you want to grow fast on Instagram right out of the gates, Kicksta is one of the best ways to do that, along with your normal content posting and being authentic and that sort of thing. This is just a little bit of an added bonus. When it comes to scheduling social posts for the future, one of the best tools you can use is Later, here at later.com. You can see social media management made easy. Now, this tool actually used to just be for scheduling posts on Instagram. That was all it did. However, following the trend of Hootsuite and Sprout Social, they have grown a lot. And if you go up to the product dropdown, you can see you can now schedule posts for Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Twitter. In addition to scheduling posts, they have a bunch of other features as well. So there's a chance that in the future, Later could be included up with the big boys, Hootsuite, Sprout Social, Buffer, and Zoho. However, they're not quite there yet. Their specialty is still scheduling posts for the future, but do notice that they feature advanced analytics, hashtag suggestions, all sorts of things that go beyond just scheduling posts. So let's look at the pricing real quick. Unfortunately, when this was just a tool for scheduling posts for Instagram, it was free. And now you'll notice that it's $18 a month. And they are doing things similarly to some of the other management tools like Hootsuite, but also a little bit differently. Look at this. This is $18 a month for one social set. That is very different, and I really like that. So for $18 a month, you can schedule your posts on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok, and LinkedIn. So they're doing their pricing a little bit differently, and I love that. This is great for a business that has a social profile on each of these networks. You don't have to add money per month just because you also use Twitter, right? And so you can see the difference between these tiers. One of the things that is different about Later is they do limit you on posts for your package. So on the starter package, you only can do 30 posts per social profile per month. And in the growth package, you can do 150 per social profile per month. And then advanced has unlimited. But if you think about it, the starter 30 posts per month per social profile essentially means a post per day, which probably should be enough for a lot of you. So again, this is something to think about. Now, one of the best things about Later and why it's even included when you've got tools like Hootsuite and stuff, now that it actually costs money, is this user interface. This is what it looks like. I'm logged into my Later account. And one of the really cool things is you'll notice we're looking at this content schedule here. So if I just kind of drag this window over, I have this image on my desktop. And let's say I want to schedule it for Instagram. I can just drag it in here to the calendar. It's going to load it over here in my media section. And then once it's loaded, I can just click and I can drag it to when I want this post to be scheduled. So right now we're on Monday. So let's say I want it to be tomorrow at 8 a.m. You can just drop it in there. And now we are brought to this window where we can do everything we need to do with this post. We can write our caption. Obviously, we could add hashtags and everything in there. And you'll notice that there are some other options. If we were to upgrade our plan, we could automatically post the first comment, which on Instagram, many of you may know that a lot of people don't put their hashtags in the caption because it looks a little clunky. And instead, they just comment right away with all the hashtags. So that's a very common strategy on Instagram, and Later allows you to do it automatically. You'll notice that they have a few other options that you do need to upgrade to either the free trial or one of the paid plans. But I just think the user interface is so easy to use. It really looks great. It's very robust. And, they're trying to grow. So again, in the future, this might be in a different chapter in this course because it might move up with the Hootsuites and Sprout Socials. But for now, it is still, I think, the best standalone option for scheduling posts in the future. If that is the only thing you're looking to do and you don't care about all of the other management options, then look no further than Later. As someone who loves evergreen content, the Meet Edgar tool provides a unique capability of resharing content while avoiding the fatigue that can come with sharing the same posts over and over again. Evergreen content, as I'm sure many of you know, is content that rarely becomes outdated and can stand the test of time. It's valuable because it can truly be used as a passive source of income or just as a way to continuously engage users without having to create new content all the time. Not all evergreen content lasts forever, but I tend to consider content that stays relevant for 3 to 5 years or more as evergreen. That's where Meet Edgar comes into play. You see, it has a lot of the same features as some of these other tools that we've talked about, like Hootsuite and the ability to schedule posts, but it also does some things really unique. So let's click on this How Edgar Works link, and we'll be able to kind of see a little bit better. So we know that it focuses on evergreen content. We can go from there. Now, the way that this works is you will create a bunch of categories within Meet Edgar. So one category could be inspirational quotes. Another one could be, it has to be evergreen, remember. So we're not going to do like news stories, right? We want them all to be evergreen. So we might have inspirational quotes. We might have, tip of the day, different things like that that are evergreen. If you have a business where you have maybe some history about your business, if you've been around for a long time, you could create a category for history because that stuff, if you're positioning it as history, is evergreen, right? It never goes out of date. Wikipedia is pretty evergreen, especially when something no longer exists anymore, but it's captured on Wikipedia. That information is evergreen. So, using history is always great. So you'll create a category. So say history and inspirational quotes. Then you'll add a bunch of content. Then you'll go into your content calendar and you'll say, every Thursday at 8 a.m., I want to post something to Twitter from my inspirational quotes category. Every Monday at 12 p.m., I want to post something from my history category. And then Meet Edgar will go into your content collection. You've already created these posts. They're in the Edgar library, and it will choose one of them and it will post it. And now it's not going to post that one until it's posted all the other ones, right? So it will shuffle things, but it's not going to duplicate posts. You do want to create a pretty robust library depending on how often you're tweeting or posting. You can see in this example, they have different categories for their platforms. So they have Facebook, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. So that's one way to do it as well. You can see you can add all your content to your library very easily. You can import things. And then here's where we can see an example of the scheduling. So you can see in this example, they're posting content every Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday to all of these networks, but they're taking it from their Candy Shop content library. So this is a library of things that they've already put together here in Meet Edgar. They've already done all the posts, and Meet Edgar is just pushing one out. Then on Tuesday, it's doing that again, and it's going to be a different post than was Sunday and Monday, but it's also going to post something from the general category at 10:05. On Wednesday and Thursday, we have Instagram promos. And again, these aren't things that you're like, okay, on Sunday, I'm going to create my Instagram promo post for the week. No. You can do this all in one day for a year. And then you don't even have to determine, well, I want this post on this day. No, just say the category and that post will eventually go. Again, focusing only on evergreen content. So that's probably the most important user aspect of this is just when you're creating content for Edgar, make sure it's evergreen. That is the whole point of the tool. You can see more information here on the website about how the queue works. Let's go ahead and let's look at the pricing. Unfortunately, this has also gone up. I'm showing you all the best tools that you can use for social media management. And by the nature of that, they do have a cost associated with them, especially nowadays as the industry has matured. $25 a month. Look, if you have a large following, or if you're looking to get a large following and you really want to engage those users continuously, Meet Edgar is just such a good way to do that. I mean, you could go on vacation for 6 months and your followers might not even realize it. You are creating these posts, so they shouldn't be spammy. You are going to construct them in a way where it could be posted, in 6 months from now or 6 years from now, really, if you're trying to really focus on the evergreen. So $25 a month for this unique set of features, absolutely worth it if that is something that you find valuable. So if you're looking to post evergreen content automatically without having to think about it too much, really for the foreseeable future, then absolutely give Meet Edgar a try. Earlier in the course, we talked about marketing and engaging your users via social media messenger apps like Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger. If you're getting a lot of Messenger traffic and you're not finding all the features you need in those built-in solutions, then it may be a good idea to implement a third-party chatbot. And one of the best ones that you can use is called Customers.ai. It used to be called Mobile Monkey. It has since been rebranded. It wasn't bought out or anything like that. The founder is Larry Kim. He's still the CEO. He was also the founder of the WordStream blog, which is a very powerful SEO tool. If we scroll down a bit here, you'll see that it has the blessing of Neil Patel, who is also an SEO genius. So this tool is very powerful. But let's go ahead and let's jump in and kind of take a look at it a little bit. So here I am logged into my Customers.ai account, and I will say that this used to only focus on Facebook Messenger, but it has since evolved and it's really focusing a lot on text messages nowadays. So you will see that in here a lot, and it might be something that you can use, although it's not technically social media. So we're going to look at the social media side of it. So when I click on these three dots up here at the top, you'll notice that we have some other features, and one of them is this chat starters. So from here, we can actually create a chat bot for our Facebook page. So we have this area that says Facebook page welcomer. And by default, we have this welcomer dialog. If we click on it, you'll notice that there's nothing in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that when somebody opens up a new chat with us, we automatically send them a message. And to help out the chat bot and the flow and actually make it work, we kind of want to ask a question so we can anticipate their answers. So I'm going to add a widget. And we're not going to choose text because then we can't specify the answers that they might decide. So we want to choose options. We want to give them some options. And then we could create a message that's something like, "Thanks for visiting our page. Have you taken a look at our FAQ yet?" And we can hit save. And now we've asked a question. So we can click this add button to add some of the choices that they'll have when replying. So we could say, they answer yes. Now, when they answer yes, do we want to take them to a new dialogue? Yes, we do, because we now know that they've looked at our FAQ. So where else can we maybe send them, right? So let's go ahead and hit choose create dialogue. And you can see there's some templates in here that you could choose from, or you could just go up to the top and create a new dialogue. So we need to give it a name. This is for us to recognize. So this is when they're answering yes. So we'll go ahead and we'll call this visited FAQ. So this is what is going to appear if the user has visited the FAQ, or at least if they say that they've visited the FAQ. And we can choose a folder to put it in. We can put it in the Facebook page welcomer folder and hit create. Now, okay, that's been created, but we're not doing anything with it yet. We'll take a look at that in a second. We still need to add our other option, which is quite obviously no, right? So this one would be no. Do we want to take them to a new dialogue? Yeah, we're going to take them to a dialogue that takes them to our FAQ. So we're going to hit create dialogue. We'll call this FAQ not visited. We'll put it in the Facebook page welcomer folder and hit create. So now we have this question where we ask, have you seen our FAQ? And they can give one of these two answers. So now we need to specify what to do when they answer. So we can do that by going and hitting back over here and going up to the three little dots, and we'll go to our dialogue library. And you'll notice that over here on the left, we need to go down to the Facebook page welcomer folder. We have these two dialogues that we created, the visited FAQ right here, and then FAQ not visited. So if they have visited our FAQ, what do we want to do? And here you can really do anything you want. Notice that there's this option to do more widgets. So you have a whole bunch of options. You can create forms, you can add images, attachments, audios, GIFs, really anything you want, right? So we could simply put a text answer here, and this is visited FAQ. We could say, okay, great, just checking. Maybe something like, you can contact us at, this phone number, blah, 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 for more information. And then we could put the phone number. This is going to be specific to your situation. And then we go ahead and click on save. And then, of course, we're going to go into the FAQ not visited dialog. We're going to also add a widget. And this one, we're going to say, okay, well, it may answer your questions. Go ahead and check out the FAQ at this link. I'm not going to type it all out, but we just put link, and then we'll hit save. And so now if we go and let's go back up here to our chat starters, Facebook page welcomer. Let's go in here and let's hit this test my bot button. And actually, you don't even have to hit the button. You can see it over here on the right. So it says, thanks for visiting our page. Have you taken a look at the FAQ? Yeah, I did. Okay, great. Just checking. You can contact us at this phone number for more information. So here's our chatbot. It's already working. So again, when you first get this set up, it might take you a little bit of time to learn where everything is. That's why I wanted to show you an example so I could give you something tangible that you could do when you get started. But if you are looking to take advantage of chatbot AIs and being able to really have conversations with your customers without actually being there, I know it sounds kind of weird, but I think that's where we're headed. So it's definitely something to think about. And like I said, if you already know that's what you want to do, Customers AI is really the place to start. When it comes to social media, images are oftentimes more powerful than words. Of course, you can just upload an image and post it, but if you're looking for a free and easy way to get creative with your images and videos, Canva is the tool for you. It's much easier to use than traditional photo editing platforms like Photoshop, and the possibilities are nearly endless. You can use Canva to create YouTube thumbnails, Instagram promotions, portfolio highlights, almost any type of digital media graphic. Let's take a look inside and see how it works. Okay, so here I am inside of Canva, and as you can see, we have a lot of options right here from the get-go. So up here at the top, we have these different categories of graphics that we could create, and we have this one called social media, so that's perfect for us. And right from here, we have templates that are sized correctly for the platform that we're looking to post to. So if we want to post a square to Instagram, we don't have to enter custom dimensions of our image. It's already set for us. And you'll notice that there are a bunch of different options in here, and you can scroll over for more. Now, at the same time, you could just go up here and click on custom size, and you could create a custom sized graphic. It doesn't have to be for social media. This can be used for anything. But we'll go ahead and we'll just click on Instagram post square. Pretty general. Okay, so when we click to create a new document, you'll notice that on the left side of the screen, there are a whole bunch of templates that we can start with. Now, Earlier, we were looking at the type of document that we'd like to create, like social media or a presentation. Now we're in the Instagram template. So if we click on any one of these, it will bring it over onto the right side of our screen, and then we can start editing it however we'd like. So let's choose just maybe one of these images here. And you'll notice that it comes over here to the right. And now every single element within inside of this image is editable. So I could move this text around. Up here at the top, I have all of my tools to change the font and size and color and give it bold, italics, underline. I can add effects to it. I can animate it, all sorts of things. And we can actually add our own elements as well. So instead of choosing just the images and graphics over here on the left, notice that there's, other tabs where they have a bunch of graphics we can choose, but we can also, like I mentioned, upload our own. So to do that, we're going to click on Uploads, and then we'll just click on Upload Files. I have this image on my desktop that we're going to use. And so now that it's been brought here into Canva, I can just select it from the left and I can drag it over here to the right. I could click and just select and delete some of these other elements if I'd like. I can even get rid of this text. So we're basically with a blank canvas now. So now I can scale this image up a little bit, and then I could add some other elements as well. I could go over here to Elements, and I could just add just a shape. So we can put some text in here in a minute, and I can move this up here at the top. We add some text, and then of course we can modify that text. And of course, these other elements are editable as well, so I can change the background color of the box that we added. And then we can add some of these other animation type things as well if we'd like. So you can see Canva comes, really with all of these elements built in and available. So you can use some of your own images combined with their images and their elements. Some of them are paid, so you can upgrade your Canva account. You'll have access to more images and animations and things, and you can even add sounds and videos here in Canva as well. So once you're ready and you've finished your graphic, to share it or download it, you can go up here to the top right. When you click on this button, you'll notice that right from here, we can publish directly to Instagram or any other network that we'd like. We created this from an Instagram template, so it's only showing that right now. But notice here, share on social, we would have other options. Or we could download it, and then we could bring it into another application if we'd like, or we could send it straight to print right here from Canva. And I'm using the free version of Canva right now. This is all free, so it's just a really great tool. It has really brought more advanced versions of graphic design to people that normally probably wouldn't be able to do it without a lot of expertise in some of the tools that they're using. In this video, I've just touched the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Canva, but it goes as far as you can take it and as far as your creativity will let it go. So if you're looking to enhance the images that you're uploading to your social accounts and you're looking for a free tool that doesn't take, like a whole year to learn how to use, like Photoshop or InDesign, then Canva is absolutely a great option. A lot of people are using it nowadays. All of those cool YouTube thumbnails that you see, a lot of them are created in Canva. So like I said, if you're looking to enhance the images of your social profiles, look no further than Canva. Content curation is a big part of using social media nowadays. It's a pretty big turnoff when you go to someone's Twitter or Facebook feed and it's filled only with self-promoting links to their blog or website. A great way to get around this is to curate content from other sources to share with your followers to create a little more trust and authenticity. This can get time consuming, however, and that is where Feedly comes into play. As we can see from their homepage, Feedly provides a great way to keep up with topics and trends without being overwhelmed. Let's take a look. Okay, so here I am inside of Feedly, and there are two primary ways we can use Feedly. We can subscribe to the RSS feeds from our favorite sources to see their latest updates, and additionally, we can use Feedly boards to handpick content that can later be shared with our followers. So to get started, let's create a folder to store some of our RSS feeds in. So over here on the left, you'll notice we have the feeds section and the board section. Feeds is where we can add an RSS feed. So we'll go ahead and create a folder so that we can organize this by topic, and we can just call this one technology, and we'll click save. So now we have a technology feed, but we don't have any sources added. So let's go ahead and add a couple websites. First of all, we can just add my website. So you'll notice that it comes up, and then we can just click on follow, and we'll click on technology to add it to that folder. And then there's another website that I like to follow. It's called OSX Daily. It's Mac updates. So we'll go ahead and we'll add them as well so we can get 2 websites on there. And now when we go over here and we click on our technology feed, although it's now called a folder here in Feedly, but it's essentially the feed that we've created, we will see articles from both of these sources. My website hasn't published in a little bit, so it's mostly OSX Daily right now. But we would get all of the updates from any websites that we add to this feed. So instead of going to 5 or 10 different sources every day to find out what's new in your industry, you can just add all of those sources right here, and you can go to one place here in Feedly to find out all of the information. Okay, that's great. Now, where do boards come into play? Boards is how you can handpick content that you'd like to share. So we're seeing all the content from OSX Daily and my site right now. But if we create a board and we just call this like maybe tech to share, so this is technology articles that we like that we're going to share with our followers. We could add a description if we'd like. We can also make the board public so people can actually follow us here on Feedly. That's totally up to you. But we'll just click create. And now when we go into our feed here, if we see an article that we like, you'll notice that we have some options up here at the top. We can mark it as read, we can mark it as read and hide it from the screen here, or we can choose this option that is saved to board, and we can add it to the tech to share board. And so now when we go to our tech to share board, we only see that article, but of course we could add as many as we'd like. So you could take, say, one day out of the week, have all of your sources that you like to go to here in a feed, go through that feed and just start adding the articles that you think your users will enjoy to the board that you're going to share. And then you could go ahead and use whatever program you're using to schedule your social media posts. And you could go right to that tech to share board and you can share right here from within Feedly. So I could just go up here to this article and I can click on it. It will open up in Feedly and I have all of these social sharing options right here at the top. So you can literally find the content that you'd like to curate. Then you can organize it and manage it and store it here in Feedly, and then you can share it from here in Feedly. So you don't have to leave Feedly for any of your content curation process, including the act of actually sharing it. So in my opinion, this is the best option to use if you're serious about curating content. By sharing and curating other people's content, you'll appear more authentic, and you probably are being more authentic. And you're also providing a lot more value to your users. You're showing that you're not all about self-promotion, but you're really about contributing to the community as a whole. So if you're looking to curate content, look no further than Feedly. Earlier in the course, we talked about using Feedly to curate content and even to discover some content. If you already knew the website that you wanted to look at, you could enter it into the RSS reader and you could see all of their content. But where do you go if you don't even know which website you want to look at and you need to actually find sources for curated content? Well, I have 2 solutions for you depending on your situation that I think you'll find very helpful. The first one is BuzzSumo, and you can see I'm here on their website, and BuzzSumo is a tool that is used to discover trending topics, influencers, and just really what's buzzing in social media. So you can see what the user interface kind of looks like here a little bit. You can find keywords. So they're trying to kind of get into the search engine optimization realm a little more. They've focused primarily on social before instead of SEO. But you can see here's the big thing about BuzzSumo nowadays. It's $120 a month. It used to be free. And when this tool was free, it was absolutely a no-brainer. It was super powerful, more powerful than Google Keywords, Google Trends, most of the other free SEO tools, or even social media scanning tools. Now that it's $120 a month, though, it's a little bit of a tougher decision because there are some free tools that can accomplish the same things that BuzzSumo can accomplish. You'll notice that with BuzzSumo, we can do content discovery and research, finding influencers. They have an API, so if you're a big organization and you have your own system and you want to bring in keywords and trends automatically, you could hook up to their API. So this is a really good option for bigger organizations that have a marketing budget to spend the $120 a month for a tool that it's not necessarily going to make or break you from a marketing perspective, but if it's just a small percentage of your budget, it can certainly augment all of your other efforts. And so it might be worth it. Again, you can see here, they have trending stories. So those are always great to pick up in terms of a curation standpoint. Anything related to your industry, if it's trending and other people are buzzing about it, well, you can share it and get a little bit of buzz on your feed as well. So it's a great tool to use, but the price point has made it a little bit more difficult. So the keyword tool, and we can see more of the trending tool. So They do have a free trial. I definitely recommend that you check it out. But due to the fact that their pricing has gone up so much, I have another tool that has also changed a lot that is free, and I want to show that to you as well. And a lot of you have probably heard of this tool. The tool that I want to talk about is Google Trends. Google Trends is almost replacing Google Keywords. So you've probably used Google Keyword Planner in the past to do some SEO research. Well, nowadays, really a lot of that research is done here in Google Trends. So from the homepage, you'll notice we scroll down and we can see these are all trending things right now. And if we scroll down even more, there'll be some more things showing us, popular things that are happening. Then there's some information on how to use Google Trends. But if we go back up to the top, first of all, we could search for anything that we want. We could also go to Explore or Trending Now. So let's just say we search for social media. There's something specific that I want to show you. It's a pretty user-friendly tool, so you should be able to come in here and kind of start using it. There aren't that many options. You kind of search and then you look at your results. But these numbers are important, and I think there's some confusion on what these numbers mean. So I want to kind of go over that a little bit. Essentially, what these numbers represent is the interest over time, and you can kind of see right here if you click on it as well. But it represents a range from the highest point that this term or trend has ever been, and that mark is at value 100. So that's 100 is the peak popularity for this particular term or trend. And a value of 50 means that the term is half as popular as that 100 mark. And a score of 0 means that it's basically not even popular anymore. So when we look at this chart for social media, and we're looking really at just one day right now, you can see past a day. Let's change this to, say, 90 days. I think this will give us a little bit more info. You can see we've got this weird kind of wave graph going on. This is obviously, for those of you who are in this industry, this is because of weekends. All of those dips are the weekends, and then you see the work week where people are searching it more. So this is basically telling us that this term is searched twice as much, because we go from the 50 to 75, which is essentially twice as much in terms of the interest over time metric during the week than it is on the weekends. And you can see, I don't know what happened here on April 10th, but something happened. It got to peak popularity where it was kind of peaking at 90 before that. So, social media isn't necessarily one that is changing that much, but you will see certain terms that are maybe at 50, 50, and then boom, they shoot up to 100. And when you're in Google Trends and you see that happen, you know that that term or that trend or that topic is a great topic to start posting about and maybe even curating content from. So, when you scroll down, you see more information too. You can get some geographic information. You see related topics and related queries. So sometimes it might be difficult to find actual websites. You will see websites if you go to, let's click on Great Lakes and see what happens here. If there are important articles related, they will be displayed up here at the top if they're popular enough. But it gives you the topic where then you can do some more research on that topic and find websites that you could add to your Feedly list to curate. We clicked on Great Lakes just as part of the video here, and you'll notice it kind of shows what I was talking about. I'm not exactly sure what happened in the Great Lakes on April 11th. Something did, because it was not really being searched at all, very, really not as popular as it had been in the past. And then something happened this week that made it super popular. So if you had a business that is somehow related to the Great Lakes around that April 11th date, would have been a great time to curate content or even create some of your own content to share with your followers to create some trust and authenticity. So both of these tools, both BuzzSumo and Google Trends, are absolutely great for discovering the buzz and the trending topics in social media. It really just depends on your budget and how much you're going to be using them. So go ahead and try them both out and see which one you like better. If Canva is the place to go to release your inner creativity and create some professional looking images for your social media accounts, Giphy is the place to go to create a quick GIF and get it uploaded. So I've logged into a free Giphy account, and right off the bat, you can see that the user interface is much simpler than that of Canva, and that's why I think it's a bit easier to use. Now, primarily you're going to create GIFs in Giphy, but you can also create some stickers or backdrops and just different graphics. But let's go ahead and let's look at creating a GIF. So from the home page, I'm just going to click on the Create button at the top right. You'll notice that I mentioned you can create GIFs, stickers, backdrops. We want to create a GIF, and we want to do it from some images that I have on my desktop, but you could bring in images from a URL if you wanted to as well. So do know that that's an option. So I have these 3 images here on my desktop, and by using them to create a GIF, we're going to have it cycle through all 3 images. So I'm just going to choose the first one. And when I do that, it's brought to this GIF creation screen. So notice that on the right side, we can add a caption, we can add stickers and filters, and we can even draw right here. But it's not a GIF yet because it's a single image. So let's click to add our other images. We'll just browse on the computer. And then when we have all of our images added, we only want one of each, so you might have to delete one out there. You can go ahead and hit continue to decorate. You could change the duration of the slider a little bit if you wanted to, but we can just go ahead and hit continue to decorate. So now we have our GIF, and it should show us on the left side of the screen a preview of what that GIF looks like, but we can do some more things. So let's go ahead and let's add a caption. And then we could change the color of the caption if we wanted to. We can change the style. You'll notice that it changes, and we can kind of see how it changes too. Keep it as default. And we could also add an animation to the caption. And then if we go on the left side, we can move it around on the screen. We can rotate it. So you have a lot of different options here in terms of, just adding a little bit of creative flair to your GIFs. You could go in here to the stickers section, and they have a whole bunch of stickers that you could use, that you could add. For filters, we'll kind of change the appearance. It's like an Instagram filter. And if you want to just freestyle draw, you can do that as well. All right, and you'll notice that there's a little bit of animation with that as well. So when you're ready, you can just click on the continue to upload button. And you have the option to enter any tags if you'd like. So you can actually just browse GIFs here on Giphy, and you can choose to make this GIF public. You'll notice that by default it is public, so if you want it private, you need to turn that off. And then people could browse through and they could find your GIF, and they might be searching by tags, in which case your tags will be important that you enter here. But I think a lot of you will be using this to bring outside of Giphy, so you could leave it on private and then just go ahead and click upload to Giphy. Okay, so you can see our GIF has been uploaded. It lets us know that it's private, only can be seen by us. That's great, that's what we wanted. And now from here, we could go ahead and we could just hit share, and we could share it to the social network that we'd like. So I hope you found this helpful. If you're looking for a quick way to create a GIF and just get it uploaded, this is a great tool for that. There are a few other tools that you can create GIFs in, like Canva, but I think the user interface is just a little bit more complicated. So again, for those quick situations, go ahead and give Giphy a try. If you're creating and sharing content with YouTube, you may want to enhance your experience by using the TubeBuddy tool. TubeBuddy is the most popular third-party tool used by YouTubers. Some of the main features include keyword discovery, enhanced statistical analysis, and bulk editing. Let's take a look at how it works. Okay, so I've logged into my TubeBuddy account, and I have the Legend license right now, which is $24 a month if you buy it annually. Comes out to about $30 a month if you pay monthly. There's also the cheaper version, which is less than $5 a month if you pay annually. And then there's an enterprise version, which doesn't have the pricing. You have to call them and find out how much it costs. So I have the Legend version because there are some really powerful features here that I think it's almost required. I mean, the pro account might be beneficial to those just starting on YouTube for your video engagement tools, but we really want access to the analytics features and some of the competitor scorecards, definitely some things that are here in the Legend plan. So just understand that's why I'm using the Legend plan, but you could try out the pro plan if you'd like as well. Okay, so back here in TubeBuddy, I have my channel added, and we can look at a few different things. So I could look at the health report over here, and it will give me some statistics regarding my channel. So some of these statistics are the same things you'll find in YouTube analytics, and some of them are a little bit different. I really love this YouTube searches section over here. So this tells me how many views I'm getting from certain search terms, and then the arrows let me know if I'm trending up or down for that particular search term. You can click over here and you can see which related videos are driving traffic to your videos. So this video right here is driving the most traffic. So my video is showing up as a suggested or related video on YouTube next to this video and all the videos in this list. And then of course we can see our main sources. So obviously the majority of my traffic comes from Google search, and then my website is number 2, kind of makes sense. And we can go down the list there. So you can see a lot of this information in YouTube statistics, but it isn't always organized in the same way. So I do like how TubeBuddy shows it. And then we can also see some more information, demographic information down here at the bottom. But one of the things that I really like about TubeBuddy is this search rank tracking feature over here on the left side. So in this area, we can click on keywords to track. And in this section, you can add keywords that you want to see how you're performing for on YouTube. Now, once you've added the keywords that you'd like to take a look at, you can then click on Ranking Reports. And it will run a report for you based on those keywords. You can do it every day if you'd like, and then you can view that report. And you'll see that for each of these keywords that you've entered, you can see where your videos rank. So for this keyword, I have a video that ranks number 2 on YouTube, number 3 on Google. This one's number 1 on Google. Going down for the other ones, this one's number 3 on YouTube, 8 on YouTube, and then GitHub tutorial also number 3. So this is a great way to track how your content is trending. And if you get some keywords in here that are really important to your brand, then you can try and kind of climb up the ranks, so to speak. So you might be ranking number 17 right now for this video. Well, how can I get it higher for this keyword? So I think this is just a great way to track how you're performing and see if you're accomplishing your goals when you're targeting certain keywords. Now, there are a whole bunch of different options in here in TubeBuddy. So we can take a look at competitors. We can add competitors. We can look at their channels and how they compare to ours. I'm not going to go in there. I do have people on my competitor list, and I don't really want to throw them under the bus or just put it out there in this video, but that is a great way to take a look at your competitors. You can set up alerts. So alerts related to your industry. You can do different A/B testing. However, one of the more powerful features of TubeBuddy is actually using the TubeBuddy extension for your browser. So if we go to the homepage here, it should give us this option. Yeah, we have this option up here in the top right that says download extension. So let's click on it, and I'm just going to go quickly through the process of adding it to Google Chrome and giving it any permissions that it needs to my browser and my account and all that. So go ahead and do that. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've installed the TubeBuddy extension, and you can see it's up here at the top of my browser. I can click on it and I can, manage it. However, where this comes into play is when we actually go to YouTube. So let's go to YouTube. Okay, so here I am on YouTube, and if this is the first time that you're using the TubeBuddy extension on YouTube, you do need to give it a little bit of a sign in to your YouTube account. So we'll go ahead and we'll agree to the terms and click sign in with YouTube. Okay, so I've signed into TubeBuddy, and you'll notice that as soon as the page is refreshed, we have this summary over here on the right side of the screen that tells us the total views of the video, comments, likes. It gives us an SEO score, and then we can hover over to see, why our score is what it is. We can click to load in our number of tags that we're ranked for, and then we can see some of our channel analytics as well. Now, this is helpful for looking at your own videos, but this can even be more helpful when looking at your competitors' videos, because you can see, what tags they're ranking for, how much they're doing in terms of social sharing, that sort of thing. So it can definitely be a great way to do competitive research. Now, I just want to mention that I have a love-hate relationship with this TubeBuddy tool, and I don't think it's fair if I don't say why and just give you a little bit of history on it. TubeBuddy came out quite a while ago, and I tried it right away when I first started using YouTube, and it helped me do some bulk edits, and I like the statistics, but at the time especially, it seemed very kind of spammy, and you almost wondered if it was legit. And I think a lot of people have Googled that. You see questions in forums like, is TubeBuddy legit? The thing, it is legit, and it has been doing business for a while, and there's been no fraud or anything like that. But the desire for them to separate you from your money is a little bit more palpable. And you notice that when you're using TubeBuddy, they might ask to be sponsored and say, hey, if you sponsor us, then we'll give you, free access to our tools. And a lot of their tools actually come from the free tools within Google. They're connected to YouTube's API, pulling out information from Google Search and YouTube, and then they're displaying it to you differently. So a lot of the information can be found elsewhere, but I do think the extension is very helpful, and I do like the way in which the information is presented. So I think it's valuable. And if you search for the top tools, or if you do your own research and you've been in the industry and you know what's going on, you know that it's TubeBuddy. This is the one. So I just wanted to mention that because I've noticed it. I know other people have noticed it as well, but I've used the tool multiple times over the years. I've never had any problems. I actually end up using it for like a month or two, and then I unsubscribe and disconnect from my YouTube, and then I'll go back in and I'll connect it back up when I feel like I need to use it again. So maybe that is a way that you can use it as well if you don't like it always having access to your YouTube account. But it is the best tool to get advanced analytics from YouTube. So if that's what you're looking for, then I would definitely give TubeBuddy a shot. If you're managing multiple social accounts at once and are looking for a unified place to look at analytics and data regarding those accounts, one of the best options is Sendable. So here I am at sendable.com, and you'll notice that Sendable has solutions like a lot of the applications that we've been looking at. You can do publishing, you can do team collaboration, but where they really shine is in their analytics department. So let's go ahead and just click on analytics and kind of take a look at some of the things that their platform provides for us. So you notice that we can get cross-platform reporting, and they have this report called the engagement report, which allows you to look at your engagement across all of your different social networks, so you can try and determine which ones are being most successful, which ones need more work, and maybe why those things are happening. Again, looking at them all at once in one place. Another unique capability of Sendable is they have this wonderful analytics platform that you can use. Let's say you're just a small business and you have your social accounts, but at the same time, if you are a marketing agency and you are managing social accounts for other businesses, you can actually brand the Sendable platform as your own. So you can have your clients, and when they log into their social media management platform that you are providing for them, it will have your logo, it will have all information about your company, but it's actually run through this Sendable system. So it's already built for you and it's ready to use. So that's a really good option for any marketing agencies out there that are looking for a tool that can also help with their own branding instead of having to tell people, well, we use this other tool that's from another company. No, yeah, if you get into the details, I'm assuming you'll tell them that it's Sendable, but on the surface, it's just going to appear as though it's your product. So that is a really nice option to use with Sendable, especially if you're managing multiple accounts. But again, if you're looking for some advanced analytics, Sendable is a great place to go. Let's go ahead and take a look at the pricing, because I know a lot of you might be saying, well, okay, that's great, but we already took a look at Hootsuite and Sprout Social and these other platforms that also have advanced analytics. And while that is true, notice that the creator plan here for Sendable starts at $30 a month. So you can get 1 user, 6 social profiles. And when we compare that to the pricing of the other platforms, that's a really competitive price for the $30 a month. You notice it has unlimited scheduling, planning, and content ideas. You get the monitoring, replying, and then reporting, which of course is the most useful feature of Sendable. If you have a team and you're looking for multiple people to have access to the system, you could upgrade to this Traction account for users, 24 social profiles, good for a small marketing agency. But notice, of course, for the white label tier, it does go up to $240 a month. But again, you can put your own brand on the platform, so that could have a lot of value depending on how many clients you have. So if you're looking for some advanced analytics on your social profiles and or a tool that you can use branded as your own company's social media management tool, then look no further than Sendable. It's absolutely a great option. If Instagram is one of your primary publishing platforms and you're looking for a little bit more insight into the performance of your posts and your profile in general that you can't find within Instagram analytics, then the next best place to go, in my opinion, is to iconosquare.com, where you can start a 14-day free trial for Iconosquare, which provides a lot of advanced statistics on your social media profiles, not just limited to Instagram, but I do believe that that is where they really shine. So you'll notice that you can sign up for the free trial, and if you do decide to use it, they have some tiered pricing like a lot of the tools we've looked at. The pro plan starts at €50 a month, which gives you access to 3 social profiles. And you can see it's kind of tiered like Hootsuite, Sprout Social, depending on how many social profiles you have. Now, like I mentioned, I think that this is most beneficial for Instagram. So if you're just using it for Instagram, then the pro plan should be fine. It still comes with a lot of the features that we'd like to look at. So let's go ahead and move inside the tool and take a look. Okay, so here I am inside of Iconosquare, and I've already connected my accounts. So you can see over here on the right, I have an Instagram account and a Facebook account. And right now I'm in the analytics section, since that's really what I want to look at here in Iconosquare. So to look at analytics from one of my other accounts, I can just click on the account over here on the right. So right now we're looking at the Instagram account. So from here, we can see, our total followers, how many followers we've gained in whatever the time period we're looking at up here at the top. We can see our impressions, our reach, and just, our growth over time, engagement history. If you watch me and follow me, you'll know that Instagram is kind of my behind the scenes platform. So I'm not really actively publishing on there all the time, trying to get a bunch of followers with Instagram. YouTube is my primary platform, but I do have a bit of a following on there. I have people who like to see how I produce my content. So you can see down here, we can see how my posts are performing. So, actually this is really interesting. And I think there's a lot of insight just looking at these posts right here. I've got 3 photos, two of them have a little bit of engagement compared to my profile as a whole. Obviously we have to compare apples to apples here. This one didn't get anything, but then look at this one. This one got a ton of engagement. And I'll tell you that the reason I believe this is because it's a video. Now, it was a cool video. I showed a cool iPhone tip in that video, and I hope it helped a lot of people. But this right here is the type of thing that we're looking for with Iconosquare. You could see this in Instagram, but it isn't presented in the same way where you see them all right next to each other. Of course, we could click on see more posts and even see more. We could change our time frame. That sort of thing. And, you can see the different engagement on the post. So again, here's another one. My face is in this one. There's reasons why certain posts perform better, and Iconosquare can really help you figure that out. If you go to the dashboard of Iconosquare, you can create a new dashboard. I think you do need to upgrade your plan, but then you could select specific information that you'd like to view. You can compare certain social profiles against other ones. A lot of these tools start out with a niche feature that they are the best at, and then they kind of expand from there. And that is what has happened with Iconosquare. When they first started, it was only Instagram. Now they've extended so that you can add Facebook and pretty much all the main platforms. And you'll notice over here on the left side, they have publishing. So now they have scheduled posting. So, there's a chance that at some point this Iconosquare tool could move up and be alongside Hootsuite, Sprout Social, and those tools. But right now, its primary advantage is the analytics that it provides for Instagram specifically. So if Instagram isn't one of your primary platforms, probably not the tool for you. But if that is where your focus is, then I definitely think you should at least give Iconosquare a try.